This is Papa Smurf. You're listening to Our Lifestyle, the podcast, with ODB and the Mayor.
Yo, it's Our Lifestyle Podcast, and this is ODB. We want to thank our title sponsors, Custom Car Show Productions. They have 4 main events every year: Orange Beach Invasion every March in Orange Beach, Alabama. After Hours Car, Bike, and Truck Show. That is every April, typically at Hank Aaron Stadium in Alabama. Scraping the Coast needs no introduction every June in Biloxi, Mississippi. And then Bayou Showdown in Slidell, Louisiana every November. Also, big ups to our additional title sponsor, Mini Truck Showdown. This show is going down in June, Vegas, first weekend in 2022. So come on out and gallivant out to Las Vegas. This is your opportunity to make it out to the amazing city. Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Of course, that doesn't include our coverage of Mini Truck Showdown next year. And then lastly, part of the Mini Truck Showdown family, Kern County Showdown, which is going to be the first weekend in February in Bakersfield, California. Kern County Showdown, Mini Truck Showdown. Be there 2022. Enjoy the episode.
You and your movie quotes, man. I wish I could remember half the shit that you remember.
Dude,
only half of it.
I only remember some of them, you know what I mean? There's a lot of them I don't know.
You remember way more than I ever. I'm just like, what? How the fuck do you remember that?
Dude, we're on episode 269 now, dude.
Dude, it's fucking insane.
Hey, you think Hank wants to get on this episode?
Dude, I thought Hank was already on this episode.
Dude, he was born for 6'9", dude. He was born in 69, I think, in 1969.
Yeah, he was born in 1969.
Yo, it's Our Lifestyle Podcast, episode 260 what, Mike? 269. I don't know why Hank's been texting me all week wanting to get on this episode. Do you have any, I mean, what could that be about?
Bro, he was born in 1969, so he figured since this is episode 269, what a better episode than to have Frank. I call him Frank. Frank the Tank, yes. Hank the Tank, whatever you want to call him, have him on episode 269 because he was born in 1969.
Dude, Hammer and Hank said he invented the yin yang, the 6'9" deal, like the TNC Surf Designs. You know what I'm saying? Like somehow he invented that. I don't know. I thought that was around for like centuries. But who knows?
Yeah, I thought, bro, I wouldn't put it past him because he is that type of dude that he's probably invented more things than we know. Dude, there's no telling with Hank.
There's no telling. And speaking of Hank, even though we're getting swirly into 269 today, if you're a day one listener, it's Friday, December 31st. And it's the last day for the open enrollment Hammered Weekend Wear. Mike, this is the coolest thing. We talked about this before. He's the only brand that I know of that could do this because every 60 days he drops 2 new ones. And if you get in with the open enrollment, you get all of the shirts. You can also do the banners. You can also do hoodies now. So I think that's cool. And I love to see like a brand like Hammered Weekend Wear be able to do something like that.
Bro, you got to go out and support the real and support the homie. Hammer and Hank and Ron Perkins, Riggedy Ron Perkins over at Hammered Weekend Wear.
No doubt. So as we get crazy in this episode, want to just remind everyone, Mike, that, we didn't get a chance to link up the last couple weeks, but dude, I hope that everyone had a fun, safe Christmas. I know Kwanzaa was just this past weekend. We've got, we missed Hanukkah. That was, back, I think, end of November, getting into December, and then now we're getting into New Year's Eve, and I know you've got some big plans, but dude, whatever you do, be safe, bro.
Oh, always be safe. Wrap it up, and be. Oh wait, we're not talking about that. Yeah.
I was gonna say those things, contraceptives.
Just be safe. Have a good time, and bring in the new year the right way, the safe way, and make sure you stay listening to ODB and the Mayor on Our Lifestyles, the podcast.
Dude, Studio 54, remember Hank was involved in the creation of that. So, if you're getting crazy at a New Year's Eve party tonight, if you're a day one listener, be safe out there, seriously. But I'm looking at the calendar. I don't know how this popped up. Karen Moore, I believe, if I've got this correct, her born day is December 31st, dude. So, happy born day to Karen Moore up in the Pacific Northwest. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Happy freaking birthday right there.
So we started this episode a little crazy, episode 269. On this episode, we're going to share in a few minutes our best of awards for the year. And we are going to try to link up with Tick Mark. I'll try to link up with Tick Mark Willie, which is David Dekorver, Kim's better half. Mike, you saw that camper last year relaxing on the ranch, right? That thing, dude, I swear it was fixed with hydraulics, but apparently they just hadn't, David hadn't, gotten away for a while. You know what I'm saying? But you saw that thing, dude. It was hitting three-wheel.
So you mean to tell me it wasn't on hydraulics? Because that damn thing was a rockin'.
Dude, it was right next to you guys' rig. I remember when I squealed out of there about midnight on Saturday. I had to peel out. But yeah, so we're going to try to link up with David Dekorver. Of course, they've got Sparks in the Park coming this April. That's going to be a Florida show, one of the many. And we want to thank Graphics Mafia. Dude, they continue to stay on the rise. We got a chance to see them out at the Toy Drop event in December, earlier this month. And I know, Mike, they're going to be out at your show, Buddy and Ryan, Graphics Mafia. Are they going to be slinging vinyl out there or what?
Hey, buddy.
Dude, GRAPHIX, Mafia.com. They can do some light design work. They've been doing wraps. And apparently, they'll also do stickers, Mike. They did Chad Lukes for SEMA. Thought it was pretty cool. He needed them in a pinch. Of course, Buddy overnighted them, I think, bro.
Dude, when in a pinch, Buddy will always come through.
Real deal, Holyfield. So that's kind of what we have in store. Just an end-of-year blowout. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a Hank on a New Year's Eve night. I mean, he can do a straight blowout. Obviously with liquor and all that kind of stuff. But, Mike, the last episode, I kind of had to hold it down here. I talked about some of my favorite moments of the year, some of the things that I really enjoyed. And one of those things, you probably didn't get a chance to listen, but I talked about, like, at Scraping the Coast, right? We had lost our friend Greg Miller earlier this year, and a lot of the scene came together. And we saw this at Southeast Mini Truckin' Nats, one of our favorite shows. And we've seen this at Made of Steel and so many other events kind of came together not only to help, folks like Greg, and Ernie Macias, rest in peace, but there was just, continued involvement for folks to try to help other people out, right? People that are down on their luck and things like that. So that was one of my favorite memories from the year. But you went to a bunch of shows this year. I know you were at Bayou Showdown recently. Is there any one thing that kind of sticks out in your mind from a positivity standpoint that you just said, hey, man, tip of the cap, for 2021?
Well, one of my favorite shows is definitely and always will be and always has been is Orange Beach Invasion. And just the whole show itself, you get to stay right there on property, the vehicles, the friends, and everything is right there. And that's, like I said, that's always one of my favorite shows. But our drive to LST is always comical, is always a good time. LST never lets us down, always good times. And, of course, relaxing on the ranch, man, we have such a blast. We were talking about, Dave and Kim and the trailer rocking over there, but just, the fire, the campfires, the food, the show, just that's and it's really close to our house too. So that one's really cool. But all in all, man, 2021 was really a great year as far as shows go, and as far as work and all that good stuff. It was busier than ever, so that was good. But the scene in general, I'd say, was pretty damn good. We lost some good people this year, like you had said. Our good friend Greg Miller, and I definitely miss him. That phone call I used to get. We talked 3 to 4 times a week. I'd be out there delivering mail, and he knew exactly what I'd be doing, when I would be doing it, and so I definitely missed that. But he's definitely upstairs looking down on us, and so definitely appreciate him for always believing in us and always being, one of the first to support us with OLP, and of course support, me and my shows that I would do with my guys. So he was always there supporting. So definitely miss Greg but all in all, man, it was definitely a pretty good year. I do have to say, and of course mini nats, man, you can't go wrong with mini nats. Just the drive, the cruising, the show, just Jason Bell and his crew. They do the damn thing every single year in and year out. And so, bro, it was definitely a good one. And of course, the last show, like you had said, that I went to was Bayou Showdown, and of course Lauren and Sean Randall. They did it. This was their first time without Greg. And it was seamless. I mean, they did it and had no issues, had no problems, and they'll be back again next year to do it all over again. So definitely look forward to doing that, going back there and doing that again.
Yeah, Lauren learned from a true professional, and she's done great carrying that torch. Of course, Sean, and then also the rest of the Custom Car Show production team that really is heavily involved with Scraping the Coast. I know they're ramping up. For next June. It's going to be the last weekend in June. But, Mike, you can't forget Mini Nats. Also, me burning my hand. Jimmy and Tim over at Jimmy's Running Customs, they got the dime, bada bing, running so well. Of course, I burned my hand. You remember that. I told everyone it was fireball related, though. You know what I'm saying? I guess it was kind of a fire. You had to take me up to the local, what was it, Eckerd? They're so old school up there. They don't even have Walgreens and CVS, right? Wasn't it like an Eckerd we were in, dude? It's like a time capsule, bro.
Shannon looks over at me and she goes, "What the hell did he do?" Dude. And you had like a trash bag wrapped around your hand. I don't know what you thought that was going to do. Dude. And then you had like a stick of butter hanging out your back pocket, rubbing a stick of butter on your. And I was like, "Bro, what are you doing, man?" I thought you were trying to cook like bacon on your hand or something. Yeah, I was like, "Bro, what are you doing?" So, yeah, but like you said, Eckerd saved the day. We got you taken care of. And dude, remember our trip to LST and we had the damn rental van and we stopped at
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's. We had Ryan in the damn lawn chair in the back of the rental van, and we did the
gas brake dip.
The stop, juke, book, gas brake dip. And Ryan goes flying through the front, fucking Mountain Dew everywhere. And then the next thing you know, he finishes the rest of his Mountain Dew, and he's passed out on the floor. No more lawn chair for him.
Dude,
so we definitely look forward to doing that again next year.
Yeah, Buddy said you can't take Ryan anymore unless you get restraints in there. So we need some sort of contraption or something for next year. But that sounds kind of crazy. But maybe we'll just run a regular vehicle. We'll have to see. Something I wanted to mention was, again, we lost a lot of good people, and we mentioned some of them last week. And Mike, I know there was even, I didn't really know the homie, but remember the day you told me you were talking to the Acro guy, and he was going to come to your show, and he was talking about pre-registering. And then later that day, news broke that he had like an altercation in a parking lot, and that he was no longer with us. Life can change very quickly, and in a matter of an hour, he was gone. You know what I'm saying? And I would, caution everyone to say, hey, listen, man, go out there, do the things you love, enjoy, do the things you enjoy, but just know that, the next day, as we've learned with Ernie and so many others this year, the next day is not promised, man.
Yep. And you're referring to Scott Wilson is who you is. I had just talked to him earlier that day. Actually, I still have the text message, or not the text, but the Facebook message. And, and then I get home, and later on that day, I see that, he's no longer with us. So yeah, he just got done pre-registering, and his buddy Scott Smith is going to be coming to Eastbound Get Down, and taking his spot. So, I reached out to Scott, and Scott was really good friends with him. And so I was like, man, I just talked to the guy earlier that day, and then that happens. So, but that just goes to show you how quick things can change in a drop of a dime, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And thanks for bringing him up, because I mean, again, I didn't know him, but I knew when when that information was kind of going around, I knew something bad had happened. So definitely, much love to Acrophobia. There's a lot of great members in that club. They've been around, give or take a little over 20 years. I think they just recently celebrated their 20th. But, Dave, and I think even, was it Eddie with the CRX? They had started, that club many, many years ago, and, kind of tip of the cap to those guys for doing the damn thing for so many damn years. The real Acrophobia. And then, Mike, I did want to mention this, too. It was, you talk about losing Scott. It was Scott, right? Earlier this year, Scott Wilson.
Scott Wilson, yes, sir.
But it was 19 years ago that Danny Rowe had passed away, and Danny was a member of Acro, and he was an electrician, if I remember correctly, but he passed away August 9th of 2002, so, we always try to keep his memory alive, and thanks for those that have kind of shared some of the awards in the past that were given out in his name and things like that. So, again, we try to do our best, as I mentioned last week, not to just cover the bigger names in the scene, but also a lot of folks that have contributed over the years. If you've got someone, I know, Craig Braid has given us some intel before, but if you've got a close friend that you've lost in the scene or someone that was a part of the scene, email us ourlifestylepodcast at gmail.com, and I'll do my best to add it to our calendar. So, Mike, listen, as we move forward, this one will be a little shorter. I mean, dude, this is literally 3 years straight every Friday. I talked to Adam from Acrophobia. Speaking of Acro, Adam was at the toy drop, and he said, "Yo, Jay, thanks for what you and Mike do every Friday." Dude, it's boom. It's on repeat. And we really appreciate that, Mike, because that's really, we had the foresight all those years ago, and I know Greg was, as you mentioned, early supporter, and I knew podcasts were going to continue to grow, but I got to also thank all the other podcasts out there that have always thanked us for laying the foundation. Remember the Best Damn Truck Show, they did a great job, and I love those guys. They had me on that February, and although I had the idea to start a podcast, that helped to manifest the idea. But I got to tell you this, someone had brought this up to me, Mike, Jamie over at Mini Trucker Cole. I don't know if he's going to kind of stop what he's doing there and focus on like a print mag or what, but I always enjoyed their show, and I hope whatever they decide that, that maybe they keep going, man. I mean, I enjoyed their stuff.
No, you're absolutely right. And we can't forget the new kids on the block, Glenn and Rochelle over at the Custom Scene. And, they're doing a killer job, doing a great job. And I'm really shocked that they can do their podcast together, husband, wife, because it's like, man, I can only take so much. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Shannon don't listen and hear that, but hats off to them for being able to pull that off. And of course, my favorite Hillbillies. I mean, you can't go wrong with LCD podcast.
Yeah, you can't. And it was awesome having LMC on recently, man. He's a good dude. I loved his, I guess I wanted to say the gift of gab. I kind of talked about his cadence and whatnot, but I mean, he could lay it down. I mean, he's kind of got like a freestyle, like he could rap, but like on a podcast, you know what I mean? And he really can get flowing. But Mike, speaking of that, I mean, for your year-end review, I mean, I hate to ask you this on the air. I mean, maybe I'll edit it out, but I mean, what would you say you kind of do around here? I mean, it's been another long year, and I don't know. I mean, what if I was your manager, I mean, what would you say, dude?
It's called customer service, man. Customer service.
Dude, I mean, but see, I thought Shannon packed the orders. I mean, you keep telling me, yo, Jay, I take the orders to the post office, and I'm thinking, but if Shannon's packing the orders, I mean, couldn't maybe she just take them to the post office and we can kind of cut you out? I mean, we could save some money here. I mean, at least in time.
I got customer service skills like no other, and we can't waste these customer service skills.
Dude.
Do I need to like break it down? Shannon prints all these labels out, okay? She's the woman that's sitting on the computer printing out all the labels. I'm going and getting the orders. I'm bagging them up, and boom, I'm slapping them on the bag, throw them in the truck, take them to the post office and make sure that they're on their happy way.
That's people skills.
That
And you got to love this too. When people get the order and they tag you and it's like 2 days later, do you ever wonder how fast the Pony Express really is? I mean, that stuff moves quick.
sometimes it surprises me, and others are like, "Are you freaking serious? How long it did take?" So it varies, man. Sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's not so good. But hey, that's the postal way. You know what I'm saying?
Real deal. So, Mike, what I want to do now, again, just kind of keeping this one light. It's the end of the year. It's been a long year. Some of us enjoyed a little bit of a longer weekend, depending on where you work. And I want to get the drum roll going. But before I do, I do got a trivia question for you, man. And I don't
like
know.
trivia.
I don't know. I mean, we got to get the we got to get the intro music, from we never talked about this, but remember the show I told you that I always call it No Whammies. It was Press Your Luck, and he goes, "All right, players, get ready," and then you had the do 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 do, that noise.
Okay, players, now it's time to get serious.
That was the thing, and when you hit the buzzer, you didn't want to get the whammy. But you don't remember that one, I don't think, right? The whammies.
Nope.
Okay. Well, this one, some people could say it's a tough one. Some people could say it's an easy one. I think it's tough for you. But Axel Foley was a Detroit cop who, travels to California to track down a killer of his best friend. He has help from 2 reluctant detectives who keep an eye on, his unusual approach to police work. Does Axel Foley, does that ring a bell? There was, the original movie in 84, followed up with the sequel in 87, and of course, the third part came in, 9-4. I think Eazy-E even had a song on it in part 3 in 94. But I don't know. I mean, does Axel Foley, surely you don't know this one.
Isn't he the lead singer for Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, he is, and he's got his buddy with the cigarette and the tall hat. The Lincoln guy, the guy that was the president. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if that's the right answer for that, is this also like they made a song where they stuck that potato in the tailpipe?
Yeah, I think so, man. That did that little keyboard sound or whatever.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. No, I remember that, and like. Take me down to Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
Yep.
Oh,
won't you
same
please? Guy. Yeah. He was in a band, and then he released an album called Chinese Democracy or something, and all hell broke loose. That was those guys.
Didn't go so well after that, huh?
Mm-mm. But hell froze over, and I think whatever that band was, they did get back together. Axel Foley was the lead singer, I think, of that band.
That's what I thought. I knew that Axel sounded familiar. I knew it. Knew it. But then at the same time, the best part was I always thought that the chick that he was trying to go after, I always thought she was hot, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
The Russian chick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I really dug her. I was really into her. But yeah, I do have to say, Jay, this one was pretty easy, man. This is Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, man.
Damn, dude.
Good stuff.
Dude, you could be the Axel Foley, I think. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're getting there. I mean, if you do the dual axle, you're talking about doing a tandem on the Mazda, then that could be your other nickname, Axel Miggity Mike or something.
Somebody made a comment the other day on Facebook about trying to catch up
to Eddie.
With to Eddie, and bro, that's in a whole nother league right there. There's no catching up to Eddie, and hats off and props to him, to Eddie. I don't think that we've said anything about this, or you might have talked about it, I don't know, but just him going out and representing the mini truck world the way he has at all these World of Wheels shows is, hats off to him and the Autoramas and nothing but love and respect and more just hopefully it all works out for him. He's got another one coming up in January.
Yeah, real deal, and excited for it. We'll talk about that in a sec, but I do want to thank Southeast Mini Truckin' Nationals again for sponsoring this trivia with Miggity Bike this week. Make sure you get out in April last weekend. It's going to be Maggie Valley. You got to be sleeping under a rock not to know what Mini Nats is. Mike, we're going to conclude our segment here, okay? But, dude, I mean, we got to get a drum roll, kind of like the Griswolds, for our best of. I know we're going to kind of switch it up here. We're going to do the best ofs towards the beginning of the episode, and this is brought to you by All Time Low Magazine. We can't do what we do without the fine folks over at All Time Low Magazine. Visit atlmagazine.com. Mike, they can get a subscription or shirts or beanies or, all that kind of stuff, right?
Oh, always. And, and what about the shipping? I can't remember how much the shipping was, though.
It's all included. That's the cool thing about the subscription. A little bit higher than your normal magazine subscription. However, it's all reinvested back into that awesome quality of the print. And my understanding is the new issue that's coming out will also have a nod to the late Ernie Macias. So rest in peace to the big homie, man. So, Mike, this, you and I talked a lot about it. We talked with some of, our key partners, right? The Ruben Arteagas, the Josh Ellises of the world, and so many others. But, dude, we got to say, Old School Mini Truck of the Year, you mentioned a minute ago. Okay, this guy has been on a tear. Recently was the 1 year anniversary of literally repainting this entire truck. And the display that we've seen at Scraping the Coast and other events, including these World of Wheels, dude. Eddie Gordy, bro. Can you believe how awesome his truck is? And I know we always joke around about you catching him, but you are taking notes, right?
Bro, the notes, though, I ran out of paper, bro, and my pen ran out of ink. So I stopped, man. I couldn't do it no more.
Real deal. And I need to preface this one thing. Please don't share this information when you hear it. You could tell that person, hey, you need to listen to the podcast. Now, Eddie always listens on Friday. But for the rest of these, let's not post it. Dizzy is going to help us with the graphic, which we did last year. But, Mike, we've expanded these best stuffs, right? So we started with Old School Mini Truck of the Year. And next, we got to go into Mini Truck of the Year. Okay? So I know what you're thinking. There's the only two. Well, I mentioned recently we're also going to do Truck of the Year. And, Mike, that could be a full size. It could be a mini. But we felt that was important because we've heard the feedback in the past. And I tell you what, Mike, I would have never thought. These awards mean a lot to folks. And it's awesome that we can do what we do. But Mini Truck of the Year, we saw this truck in the Hammered Weekend Wear booth at Lone Star Throwdown. Okay, it was also on the cover shortly after that. Of course, Not Stock Photography shot it right at LST 2021. And then, oh, by the way, it was in the Engaged Media booth at SEMA. Dude, Mike, you know who this is, right?
Don't make me guess no more. I got the question right earlier. I don't know if I can do it again. Just tell me. Just tell me, Jay. Who is it?
Chris Mall, a.k.a. Billy Bob, a friend of ours at the podcast. Dude, the NL truck, the Datsun, it's amazing. And congratulations to him, dude. I mean, there's no other truck that that did it harder in terms of a mini truck specifically this year. And the guy was literally on a magazine in SEMA, inside. He did it all, bro. So tip of the cap. And Chris was recently down here, and he has no idea. But, Mike, the only bad thing is I don't know if he listens to the podcast. You know what I mean?
Well, surprise, surprise. Congratulations, brother. Well deserved.
Now, Mike, this one is going to blow people's minds, I think, right? So a lot of people are going, well, man, they're missing something, right? But as I said, we ramped up this year. You know, we went from like 2 awards last year. We're doing like 5 this year. But Truck of the Year, dude, we had the homie that was going to debut in our booth at Lone Star Throwdown. Mike, do you remember this? And something happened. There was a little bit of a hiccup, as there always is in the truck scene. And he said, hey, I got to push it back a little bit. And we said, no problem. And remember, Mike, I go, well, man, dude, I don't know. This truck's too nice for our booth. But you contacted him, and at Mini Nats, he parked in our booth, okay? This is just a coincidence, all right? But, dude, the homie was on a tear this year, and I got a chance to link up with him at SEMA. The truck was there. Any idea what truck this could be for Truck of the Year, OLP's award?
Bro, here you go again, making me think again, because the truck that I remember was Bada Bing. So Bada Bing is our truck of the year?
Yeah, dude. I mean, bro. I mean, that would only make sense, right?
Bro, Bada Bing was in our booth at Mini Nats.
Dude, I love it. I mean, it was kind of halfway in Hammers, and then it was like a quarter of the way into Graphics Mafia booth. You know what I mean? Like, we shared the love, didn't we?
Oh, wait. Yeah, you're right. Trying to remember what that guy's name is
It
again.
has blue interior.
Okay, and I think he bead rolls too.
Yeah, and you spell his last name kind of weird, like Loke. Like, what up, Loke?
Chad Luke. Yes.
Chad Loke. Yes, congratulations, dude. NC. But Mike, dude, again, each category, we put a lot of thought into it, and we felt like his truck, from the graphics to the interior to everything that came together, dude, congratulations. And Mike, who's making our awards for us this year?
Of course, our boy Josh Welch over at Welch's Chop Shop.
Dude, we're going to have the awards in January, right? And we'll be able to get those over to some folks. Now, hopefully, Chad, I don't know is he going to be able to come to that show? What's that show that they keep talking about? It's in Daytona, but I heard a rumor that it's actually in Ormond Beach.
Yes, sir. Ormond Beach. It's called Eastbound Get Down, January 21st to the 23rd. Pre-registration is open right now. EastboundGetDownShow.com. $50. $50 till the end of December. December 31st, it's over, and then it's going to go back to $60 day of show.
Mike, and I also heard that these guys were going crazy, and they were even doing pre-registration with the armbands, dude. What an idea. I loved it.
Bro, you can go eastboundgetdownshow.com. Armbands, buy them now, $15 for the weekend, $20 day of show.
Dude, save $5 and get yourself a free cold beverage, right? Potentially.
Oh, bro, I'm telling you, yes. The bars there at Destination Daytona are cheap enough to where you actually can't afford to get a drink for $5. So, yes, save $5, get a drink at Destination Daytona.
So, Mike, check this out. We got 2 more awards, but we're going to surprise some folks here, I think, with the last one. But show of the year, dude. We have seen this team continue to get better. And here's the ironic thing. Neither you or I actually made it to this show this year. And I know some people are going to be like, well, man, come on, really? We've seen the hustle. We've saw the coverage. We've seen the relationships that they built. We've seen them grow. We've seen the tacos that we've had there. Now, keep in mind, everyone, we've said this before. We've prefaced it. We don't pick Lone Star Throwdown. We don't pick Orange Beach Invasion, Scraping the Coast. Those are 3 of our favorite shows out there. Mini Nats also is kind of, we picked them last year, right? So we partner really well with those shows, and we know every year those could easily be at the top, right? But what we're looking at is outside of our key partnerships. The same thing can be said with one of our title sponsors, of course, Mini Truck Showdown. We love what these guys are doing, right? We're going to be out there the first weekend in June in Las Vegas. And, of course, they also have Kern County Showdown, which is going to be the first weekend in February. So we've got those kind of key partners, and, those guys are kind of separate, so to speak, Mike. But, dude, you last time you went to this show, Mike, you had a run-in with, like, Strawberry Shortcake. Do you remember what show that was?
Bro, I'm trying to remember what the hell that thing. Some guy named Dizzy Duck or whatever, and then Trippity Trip, Dip, something like that, and AKA Candy, Strawberry Shortcake. Her government name's Candy. Bro, the Spark Show, Sevierville, Tennessee. You don't want to miss it. You want to make sure you're there. Second weekend of August, 2022. Check it out.
Yeah, Mike, and we've seen them continue to bring in some top-notch trucks. Their artwork has gotten awesome ever since, they got crazy and they went with Graphic Disorder, which we love. But, Mike, everything is hitting on all cylinders for these guys, and they're expanding out. We heard earlier this year they're going to partner up with Hammer Weekend Wear. I know Corey Floyd is on that train as well, so they're all helping. Corey's doing his thing with his photography. It's a group effort. It's a family affair with these guys and ladies. And I just got to say, congratulations to Show of the Year for us, the Spark Show. And again, I know some of you are probably thinking, hey, you guys didn't even go there. We had a close eye on this one. We watched it. We watched all the coverage. I couldn't go this year. It just did not work out. But I went the previous 2 years, and I think even to one of the years I drove by myself, maybe both years. No.
I was about to say, we both were there last year.
Yeah, we both were there last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a good time. So, again, show of the year. I mean, get out there for 2022. Mike said it, the dates, and it's going to be crazy. And, Mike, last but not least, dude, the contributor of the year. Now, this one was a tie this year. It's also a new award for us, and what we want to see is the positivity, someone that's a leading force in the scene, maybe raising funds for folks, getting kids involved. We didn't mention this, the Spark Show, they get all those pops, I think they call them, right? They raise money. That was another reason for them being the show of the year. But if you think about the contributors of the year, dude, one of these guys, he's an up-and-comer, bead-rolling dude, and he's also linked up recently with a legend in the scene. But, dude, Sean Rose, man. Tell me he's not out there doing some positive stuff. So he's one of our winners. Sean Rose, congratulations, right, Mike?
Absolutely. Love the guy to death. We are so blessed that Sean has come into our lives. Not only is he a mini trucker, but he's a good friend as well. And yes, he is doing great things. And but hey, he's got a partner in this too. Who's his partner, Jay?
Dude, David Magatti. And I'm telling you what, David, he's a friend of the podcast. He's a great person. He's been working with Maggie Hollowell. Rest in peace to Courtney. He's been doing so much positive stuff, Mike. And when we looked at this, we kind of wanted to expand this last year when we got the idea. But this year is really when it came to fruition. And both of those guys, right, are out there, boots on the ground, doing positive stuff for the entire scene. So they will also get an award, an OLP Contributor of the Year for our truck scene. We love what these guys are doing, and I mean, dude, congratulations to all the winners.
Absolutely, brother, and look forward to 2022. Obviously, my show, mine, John Lopez, and of course, we can't forget our wives, Kim and Shannon, and the rest of our crew. We look forward to everybody coming out and supporting us, and can't wait to put on a killer show for the Sunshine State.
Most definitely. And, Mike, I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of wrap it here. I am going to link up, hopefully, with David Dekorver, as I mentioned. We'll hit on some other stuff, just kind of keep it light, keep it fun. But to all of our sponsors and partners, we can't thank them enough. GarageGearClothing.com. If you've got some extra holiday money, go out there, free shipping. The West Coast Influence, of course, you hear us talk about it every week, minitruckfilm.com. Order that Blu-ray or DVD. And Mike, Joey at Get Decked continues to put out these awesome decks. If you're a show promoter going into the new year and you want to do some best of, some specialty type awards, no guy or lady's going to turn down an awesome custom skate deck that they can hang on their mantle or put in their garage or display with their vehicle. Mike, it's been a great year, dude. I'm looking forward to next year. Whatever you do this weekend, please be safe, right? And, keep the pedal stomped.
Keep the pedal stomped and keep it strapped, baby.
Yeah, brother. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and certainly don't do anything Hank wouldn't do. Be safe, Mike.
Absolutely. Happy New Year to everybody, and thanks for all y'all support with OLP.
We on to the next one. Peace. Call this mother. Damn, he's not picking up, man. How you going to do that, David? You set up a time, I call you, you don't even answer, man. All right. So I guess I'll just close this episode out, and then I'll try to call David again and see if he's spun out up there in the panhandle. So Mike and I gave out the awards earlier, so congratulations again to everyone for their contributions to the scene. From a scene update perspective, we'll cover some of those next week, or in the next episode, I should say, as we ramp up for 2022. Now, I know this isn't related to the scene, but news broke earlier this week that John Madden, the famed NFL coach and analyst, he was also a player back in the day, that he passed away. Many of us grew up playing Madden football. Back in the day, I remember playing it on the Sega Genesis. And man, how fun it was. It was like those 3 buttons, and you'd run back and you'd hit like A, B, or C and throw to the receiver. A lot of good memories. I saw a post that someone maybe mentioned it first came out on Commodore 64, so there's a throwback term for you. My neighbors had the Commodore 64, and I remember playing that damn thing. That's when the real floppy disks were out, like the ones that were like, they truly were floppy. They were the super thin ones, and then of course the hard disks came out after that. So, but they were still, I think, considered by today's terms a quote floppy disk. I still have some of those, not the original ones, but again, rest in peace, John Madden, famed NFL player, coach, and of course, analyst. Now, the scene updates typically brought to you by Garage Gear Clothing. We've told you time and time again. And also last week, I mentioned my favorite Garage Gear Clothing apparel item for this year was the Apache shirt. But go out to garagegearclothing.com if you've got some extra holiday money or you've got some born days coming up for the family, including the little ones. They'll take care of you. They have free shipping in the United States. garagegearclothing.com. All right, so the key show updates. Hopefully, once I get David on the phone, we can talk about some of the shows that he went to this year, some of the shows that he's thinking about for next year. I mentioned recently that we're going to keep things lighter going forward and just kind of focus mostly on what's right in front of us, right? That kind of limited scope of events. That way, we're not getting too spun out. I'm still working on the calendar, but you can go out to ourlifestylepodcast.com. And on the left side, click on OLP Official Digital Show Calendar. When you click there, you're then going to be presented where it says tap here or click here. And when you click on where it says here, that's a hyperlink, and it will bring up the option for you to subscribe to our iCal. It works with Android. It works with iPhone. It's a standard calendar, which is considered iCal. And you can subscribe. And when you do that, all of these events for the year will download into your calendar. You can unsubscribe at any time. You can filter that. Like, let's say you're planning a vacation next year and you're like, hey, I don't want to see all the shows. iPhone, it's simple. I just go in, click on calendars, and then like uncheck it. And then boom, the shows are not on the calendar. So it's a good way to kind of keep, up with the schedule. Also, the thing that I like about it is the vision that I had was, let's offer something that, most of us have, right? A smartphone, iPhone, Android device, Pixel, whatever. We all have those devices, and I mean, Facebook is probably the best place these days to get show information. Instagram right there, of course, a close second, but all of this stuff is curated by us right into your device. So you got reminders that'll pop up. You've got links to Instagram and or the different Facebook event pages, so on and so forth. So go out there, ourlifestylepodcast.com, subscribe to the calendar. And don't forget to buy some merch. Last week, we announced we've got new merchandise, and of course, that's the River Run Remix, Mike Collins, Skybody, Chris Anders, Mazda. So, make sure you check it out. Now, something that we haven't talked about, so this is new, want to give a huge shout out to Diesel Wheels. So Frank, the quadruple OG, the originator of the semi-wheels on dualies and the super singles. Many of you know Frank. Doesn't matter if you're in Florida or not. Frank is triple OG no matter where you go. I want to be clear. The Drag in the Alley is January 15th, right? So we mentioned that recently. But Frank's 30-year anniversary car and bike show is Saturday, January 15th as well. And that's from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, this event is going to be different than anything you've ever dealt with because he's doing something that he's been talking about for a while. And, of course, I think with the pandemic and with some of the weather challenges maybe last year, he had to push this out. But Red's Giveaway, REDS Giveaway.com, he has a whole bunch of information, and I'm looking at Diesel Wheels on Instagram right now. So here's the cool thing. You basically have prizes. You have Red's fully customized 2001 Ford Crew Cab F350. Their fully customized 94 Cadillac Limo. '89 Cadillac, all original Fleetwood, set of diesel wheels and tires, trip for two to SEMA, airfare, hotel, and SEMA tickets for next year. All you have to do is go to Reds Giveaway, just how it sounds.com, and purchase your goodie bag, which includes a ticket for a chance to win one of the biggest prizes that the car industry has ever seen. So I'm on redsgiveaway.com right now, and all of the stuff that I just mentioned is listed there. Now, it does say please allow 4 to 6 weeks for the goodie bags to be received, but I believe the main thing is that when you make the purchase, your name is then in the giveaway, the prize giveaway. All you have to basically do is scroll down and select what shirt size you want, everything from small all the way to 6XL. Credit card information, billing address, agree to the terms, and boom, it's super simple. It's probably going to take you less than 5 minutes. Now, the reason why I mention that is, again, Frank is a triple, quadruple OG. He's been doing this stuff a long time. I don't know him super well. I know Mike knows him well and others in the state. I've got a chance to talk with him a good bit at Relax It on the Ranch last year at Orange Beach Invasion. One of the nicest guys you'll meet, super smart, super talented. They were building the six-door dualies, six-door dualies, crew cab, extended cabs. All this crazy stuff like back in the 90s, right? So great people. And again, if you want to get in, I know I'm going to get in. Okay, I'm going to get in on this just because I want to. But tip of the cap, hopefully we can maybe get Frank on. He's been on the list. I'd love to maybe get him on before his event. So we will see. I know Mike said it's possible that him and Shannon are going to go down. I'd like to go down if I can. Mike did mention, of course, their show is the weekend after, so that will play a factor there. But that is something that we haven't covered that I wanted to make sure that we did get in. Now, of course, Mike mentioned earlier, Eastbound Get Down, that's going to be the following weekend. Technically, that is the divisional round playoffs for the NFL. So hopefully my Packers can get a first-round bye. Whatever team comes up, the lower seed, can come up to Lambeau and hopefully get taken out that weekend. And that will mean the Pack will be in the NFC Championship, hopefully in Lambeau Field. So we shall see. From there, basically, I mentioned earlier, our great family over at Mini Truck Showdown, they also have the Kern County Showdown, and that's the first weekend, so 2-4 through 2-6 in Bakersfield. About 3 weeks later after that, Lone Star Throwdown, you got to be sleeping under a rock. We hope that you can join us out in Conroe, Texas. Start looking at plane tickets. If you're like, hey, it's too far for me to drive, you can get in. Spectator line gets very long, so I would suggest getting there as early as possible. Once you got your armbands, dude, you are free to roam around the premises. Everything from kind of indoor space, tons of vendors, lots of food vendors. There's no reason that you have to even leave the venue all day. LoneStarThrowdown.com for more. When we get back from Conroe that next weekend, we're going to be at Relax It on the Ranch. Technically, I believe it's Lake Wales. Relax It on the Ranch is on Instagram. They're on Facebook. I mentioned before I'll be emceeing / DJing this event, so I certainly appreciate that opportunity. Again, we'll be down there. It's a beautiful venue. Fantastic time. Orange Beach Invasion will be then that last weekend in March, so we'll be there. So that'll be about 3 weeks after Relax It on the Ranch. Southeast Mini Nats will be about a month after OBI, so it's the 23rd, I believe, through the 25th. That's in Maggie Valley. Amazing event. If you've never been, possibly the biggest, baddest mini truck show, in my opinion, in the world. They're letting in even more people this year with that online approval process, but don't be fooled by maybe not being able to get, quote-unquote, the golden ticket. The reason being, you can have just as much, if not more fun, just strolling into town, enjoying the cruise or participating in the cruise. Even if it's not a sanctioned cruise, everybody's flying up and down the strip, rolling low, rolling slow, and having a good time. So Maggie Valley, NC, last weekend in April. So I think that's all we're going to cover right now. Again, the first weekend in June, I got to reinforce this, will of course be in Vegas for Mini Truck Showdown, one of our title sponsors. And that event has obviously bumped a little bit in terms of timeline, but the great thing is, first weekend in June, Las Vegas kind of is about halfway mark through the year, which I think is fantastic. And then also, if you've never been to SEMA and you want to just get out to Vegas and kind of see how the city works and the transit and the hotels and the restaurants and all that stuff, this is your opportunity. Mini Truck Showdown on Facebook, Mini Truck Showdown on Instagram. We will be out there. Mike and I are going to fly out. So those are a couple things I wanted to share. Key show updates brought to you by minitruckfilm.com, which is the West Coast influence. Blu-ray, DVD, also some custom die-cast. Go out there and check them out, minitruckfilm.com. The last thing I'm going to share, you guys know I love some Dr. Dre. What's funny is this year I did not talk about the Chronic at all. I think it was like 2 or 3 straight years I did episodes that tied into December 15th when the Chronic came out back in 9 Deuce, also known as 9-2. So next year is going to be the 30th anniversary. I'll probably bring that back, but check this out. You've been seeing that on 12/15. For all you gamers out there, of course, GTA 5 updated with like a new thing called The Contract, and that tied in DJ Pooh, and that tied in Dr. Dre. That new music came out, but it was really only bootlegged. It was available in the game, but if you're like me and you don't really play a lot of games, you didn't get to hear it unless you went on like YouTube and saw the bootleg stuff, right? Today, I'm finishing this episode. It's December 30th, and it was announced that The Contract is the way it's referenced, is available now on Spotify and Apple Music. It's GTA Online, and that it's The Contract. Unfortunately, it doesn't say like Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Nipsey Hussle. It doesn't say any of that. It just says Grand Theft Auto Online, The Contract. So I found the link through Twitter. It took me right over to it. You've got basically what they're saying is this is an EP, right? So it's kind of a shorter. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks. And this is part of what we've heard with the Aftermath takeover that's coming. So Dre and those guys, as I mentioned before, they're going to be doing the Pepsi halftime show for the Super Bowl out in L.A., which is going to be great. You've seen this drop. There's hints of new music coming from Eminem, and we're just excited. And then Dre announced recently on Instagram that he wrapped a new album. So lots in store. I'm looking forward to 2022. Huge Dre fan, of course. Many of you guys know. And then Eminem even, I think it broke this week that he's the first artist that has an album in 4 different decades, over 1 billion streams on Spotify. So 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and of course, with Music to Be Murdered By, Side A, Side B, that's in the 2020s. So Aftermath, still killing it. Good shit. So everybody that had rocked with us the past 6.5 years or so, and then of course in 2021 that listened to the episodes or followed us on social media or bought merch, came by a show, just slapped hands and chatted with us, we certainly appreciate. Let me call this mother effer David Dekorver. This guy's always spun out, but always love linking up with David. He's a good dude. Let's try to get him on the phone, and then we'll wrap this episode. Be safe, everyone. Happy New Year. Peace. Call this mother. Yo, and as I mentioned, we're going to get sideways into 2022, but first, we got David Dekorver, the tick mark man. David, dude, listen, tip of the cap. I don't know how you do it. The last rumor I heard, you're kind of like Deion Sanders. You're trying to play in a baseball game and then in the afternoon get in a helicopter and fly to another show. Dude, you got to slow down, bro.
Oh, I am this year. You can bet on that.
Dude, there's nothing to bet on.
We had to pull it off. We had to do it. We had to do it, you know.
Dude.
I think I was right there with Ron Perkins, bro. I was running tight.
When I was at SEMA, man, I had to link up with Ron and Jizef, and Ron and Jeff go, hey, listen, take off the shirt. So he pulls off the shirt, the Hammered World Tour. Dude, right. Man, you guys were neck and neck. I mean, we're going to have to literally pull out, like the old, when you were in school, you had the Scantrons.
Chalk marks, right?
Chalkboard, and then, you got the number 2 pencil, and we got to fill in the little, what we're going to do this year, 2022, is we're going to send out the Scantrons, and you got to have a number 2 pencil. But if you go outside that little circle, that one's not going to count. You know what I'm saying? So, dude, that's
Gotta
how.
keep it in the circle, right?
Right. So next year, that's maybe how we're gonna do it. But, dude, seriously, how you been, bro?
Doing good, man. Chilling, trying to relax. We're fixing to start show season again here in 2 weeks, I think, 3 weeks.
Dude, now let me ask you this. This is even more important. How's your better half? How's Kim doing?
Kim's doing great. She's actually out there enjoying some crabs at the moment. She was in Louisiana for the holidays with the family, and she brought some crabs back, and I can't eat them, so she's enjoying them.
Nice. Well,
yeah.
Arguably, we always joke around. I mean, you've been to a lot of shows this year, and we talked a couple months. Yeah, we talked a couple months ago, and I just wanted to kind of link up. Being that this is end of year, this episode's a little bit more, unruly. Mike and I got sideways, a little crazier.
Back, sideways.
Yeah,
right.
Earlier. And Hank is here.
You're talking to me, so we got to be sideways, right?
Exactly. No H word. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, right? There's no H word involved.
Right.
But not that there's anything wrong with that. But here's the thing: Hank flew in, and he's been staying down at my crib down here, and we've been hitting.
Yeah, I've seen Hank quite a few times this year. We've had it pretty hard.
Dude, we've been hitting the clubs. Mike Murray's supposed to come up here, and there's a couple gentlemen's clubs around here. Just normal kind of New Year's Eve stuff.
Okay. Keep Hank out of jail. You be all right.
Yep. He's got a fake ID, and that way, in case anybody kind of comes in, he told me one time he lives his life. If you've ever played or heard about the Grand Theft Auto game. He lives with the 5 stars, where every cop and the helicopter's chasing him. So when he goes out, he's kind of like Kim at LST, getting sideways a little bit. You know what I mean?
Sideways, just a little bit. Yeah.
You got to kind of pull that steering wheel back because you don't want to go too crazy off the side of the road.
I mean, she got my best award of the year, bro. Yep. That's all I can say.
So seriously, dude, how would you rate, outside of the crazy world that we're living in right now, from a show scene perspective, how would you rate 2021, dude?
2021, man, how do we rate it? I'll tell you what. 2020 was a little crazy, but 2021 was just off the chain, bro.
Yeah, so it started kind of towards the beginning of the year. Your wife tried to wrap not a 6'0" around a telephone pole like easy, but I mean, she did. Thank God it wasn't Sweet Ellie, and I mean that with all due respect. But like we said earlier, we joked earlier about it. We love Kim, but we're just thankful that she was okay. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yes, it was a bit of a oh my goodness situation, but we pulled it off. Had good people who helped us out, stored the trucks, had good people transport them back. Of course, I fixed it because that's what I do for a living.
Yep. And you built a full frame, LS swap, 30-30
we got to drop
Duramax.
down. We got, she 30-30. She got 36-inch, the new 36-inch American Force wheels on it.
Yeah, 30-inch. And then you got,
all the way.
don't you have
full
like
graphic paint job, the whole works.
Floating spinners or whatever they call Latrell Sprewells
floaters?
or something?
Yeah. I gotta come in. I gotta come in hard.
Yep. Now, here was something that I thought would be interesting. I don't know if you counted all the miles, right? But if you had to guesstimate, if you think about, like, sometimes you go to a show. Earlier this year, this is the fun fact for all the listeners. When I was coming home solo from Sparks in the Park, the show that you guys throw every April, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But here's what I thought was interesting. I tick mark over to the 200,000. I got a little video of my truck going to 200K. Mine's a 2008. Got it in 2007. 2007, 2008. Got it 13, 14 years ago. But dude, here's the thing. How many miles do you think you guys went this year?
All right, so I can say in all honesty that I had 112 miles on it when it blew up going to Slam Fest in 2020.
Wow, okay.
So only did a few shows, after that.
Now, you're talking about the Sweet Ellie, or you're talking about the tow rig?
Oh, no, I had the tow rig. I had, remember, I had the fuel pump blowout going to Slam Fest.
Yeah, you know all well about blowouts, right? I mean.
Oh, yeah. All right, same spot probably. Yeah, as a matter of fact.
Dude.
I was just past Tallahassee. I think you all was just before Tallahassee.
Yeah, speaking of blowout, Hank's back here going, he does blowouts. He's talking about every night, every weekend. I go, dude, I had to tell Hank, dude, calm down.
Blowout,
get back in your cage, Hank. There's no blowout we're talking about over here like that. You know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness, do you think you did maybe? I'm going to throw a low number. I mean, don't say I'm going to lowball you.
Go ahead.
I mean,
I'll tell you.
10,000 miles?
Oh, no, I did 30.
This year?
I did 30. I got 140,000 miles on the truck right now. A little over 140,000 miles.
I wish I could patch Ron in from Hammered Weekend Wear because I'm wondering.
Well, I could just imagine his miles.
Dude, when I told him, I felt bad talking about this because, he had some hiccups with the truck and he got through it.
Yeah.
But he's the only guy that I know of that could almost, I don't want to say blow, right? Because, I mean, Hank's in the room.
Right.
That gets him going.
Right.
But what I didn't understand is I think he went through his warranty like in one show season. Could you imagine, dude? I mean, bro.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's 100,000. That's 100,000 mile warranty. Yep.
Yeah, and I told him, I watched that movie. I don't think Mike's ever seen it. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. There is a way to like jack up the rear end, right, and you reverse those miles off. I mean, right?
If it only worked like that, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's what.
Only in the movies, brother.
Dude, when he was at my house, he had it jacked up. Dude, we had those the Harbor Freight deals. Yeah. We had about 10 different jack stands, and he had it in reverse, dude. And I think we ticked some off, But
one or two anyway.
Besides LST, right? Because obviously, we're kidding around a little bit, but obviously at LST. Mm-hmm. You guys had that unfortunate accident, but when you think, between there and the end of the year, you hit a lot of shows. What are some of your memorable good times that you guys had?
Oh, man, Relaxing on the Ranch was an awesome event. Love that show.
Yep.
I mean,
and for the record, we got to throw this out there. Yeah. Was the camper on hydraulics, or was that just the old homage of, if this...
Which camper where?
Well, I mean,
I've been a few campers this year. Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, I mean, we've seen all these campers around, like, hitting three-wheel. We were pretty sure they were on hydraulics, but maybe it was that tent that was behind your truck, I could be wrong. But what did you like most about Relax on the Ranch? Because we're going to be there, obviously, the weekend after LST this year.
Right. Yeah, just the atmosphere, dude. There's so much to do. It's so, relaxing and having a great time. It's actually real, like a family oriented thing. They got all the stuff for the kids with the, with the zip line and the log climbing, and then they got the little petting zoo and stuff like that.
Yep.
I mean, it was an actual great time for the whole thing. I really love that, man.
Yeah, it was. And, I saw a lot of your NC brothers out there. I know Barsha was out there with the dually, right? He was on a tear this year. So, but the other thing that reminds me of Relaxing on the Ranch is you guys gave me a lift in Sweet Ellie, and we did that cool little video. It was kind of a shorter video.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Well, that was the year before, wasn't it? Wasn't that was the year? That was the year before.
I'm so twisted around.
I don't even remember. Right?
Yeah. I mean, wait, is this?
We see so.
Is this 2022? I can't remember, man.
Yeah, we are. Not yet.
Not yet.
A couple days, bro.
But Relax on the Ranch.
Remember, you got to change your date when you're signing.
Dude, I'm still when the clocks change, I never like fast forward or do a rewind.
Oh yeah, my truck right now is an hour ahead.
Yeah.
I'm on your time in my truck right now.
Whenever we would return the VHS to the smut. The little smut place locally, they would always say, be kind and rewind. And I thought I was a thug because we never rewound the tapes, dude. And they would say it's an extra $1, and we would pay it. And we thought like we were cool because of that, I mean, that's Land O'Lakes life right there. But
I guess.
But in all seriousness, like when you think of other shows, what are some of the other good memories that you've had, that you guys made in 2021?
Well, from there we went. Mini Nats was a great show. Love Mini Nats. Battle in Bama. I mean, Relaxing in the Park. We went up to St. Louis. That's a really cool event. They had Cruising in Town and the Hooters meet on Friday night. I mean, that was a great event.
Yep. You guys had a good time.
And then,
And then fast forward about a month or so, remember I was like, dude, I was stuck in the water up in the Panhandle, and I was calling you, and you guys were getting sideways coming back from Justin and crew, East Tennessee Showdown. That amazing event, but you guys kind of switched it up.
Great event.
You guys switched it up this year, and instead of
you
guys didn't go to STC.
We generally do STC, Scraping on the Coast. Been there since the beginning. I think we missed the first one, and this was the first time. that we finally said, man, I really got to go see this show.
Yep.
Been telling these guys for years we're going to go that way, and they used to be not on the same weekend, but then I was hoping it was going to change, and it didn't. So, but it was good. I enjoyed that show, to be honest with you. It gives you a different atmosphere altogether. So, and for a one-day show, it's an amazing event.
Yeah, big NC presence. Of course, you got the Field of the Dreams.
Oh, yeah. Big time, right.
One of the things Josh Ellis and I have talked about a lot is it's a one-day show, and those, I think, they're so underrated.
Sometimes they're more better because you can drive home calmly and easily. You ain't got to be like all downhill run the whole time to get home because you got to work Monday,
Well, that's what, we were blowed out on the side of the road. And Hank was on the trailer, and that's why I called you guys. I go, man, I'm hoping he's coming home from that one-day show because we were stuck like Chuck, dude. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
So
I think I was halfway through Alabama at that time, if you remember right,
dude. So that was like kind of the first half of the year. So like, what did you guys have go down Tickmark Willie for the second half?
Oh man, we did Southern Tradition, Walker Frank show. That's a great show, of course.
Oh yeah, every July.
Camp and Drag, man, dude. If you have never done Camp and Drag, bruh.
I forgot that you made it up to Will and those guys. Yeah. Bill, they do a fantastic job. I've been one time.
Oh yeah, it was a great show.
But that's that's up in Indiana, right? And you don't have a lot of cell phone
That's
service.
A run. You got to decide you're going to play. If you're going to pull it, you're going to pull it.
Yep.
But for the atmosphere and the event, it's amazing.
Yep. It definitely.
You got to be willing to camp, or be willing to drive 30 miles in from town to be at the show.
Yep.
It's just the way it is up there. I mean, but the event, if you camp there, there's nothing like it. It's amazing. So
exactly.
Then,
so that's kind of August every year.
Yep. Well, right before August, because the first week in August is always Slamboree. Which is in Oklahoma. And, of course, we was there the weekend after Camp and Drag.
You're a true animal,
So we went from Indiana to Oklahoma.
Dude. I mean, the word is you've sold your house and you're on the road now 24/7.
Yeah. Unfortunately not, but that sounds good.
So, you hit Slamboree. You hit Camp and Drag, and then didn't you come down to Florida, right? Didn't you?
I did shortly after that. I hit the Sparks show in Tennessee the next following week.
Yep. Which Mike and I announced earlier.
Florida.
Mike and I announced earlier that was our show of the year this year. So congrats, tip of the cap.
Man,
to
I
the
love that
show.
show. That's a great show. That's Adam Tripp and Elboy and Dizzy put on a great show, man. That's a great.
Top ropes. The only thing that could top it this year, I think, is if they can bring the axe throwing back, because Mike wants to get up on the spinning wheel.
And what is that? The strawberry shortcake panties?
Yes. Yeah. All of that is
that would be awesome too. Right?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I heard. I mean, this could be a rumor. I heard they're going to be filming some of the new Jackass movie there. I mean, that could just be. Something, Hank was telling me. But
with Dizzy up there, I mean, come on.
Yeah, he's top ropes and everything. Good people.
Oh, yeah.
So what else did you do? I mean, dude, that can't be it.
So then, from Sparks, we hit Small Town Throwdown down there in the Orlando area. And what is that down there? St. Cloud. Yep. And then we did Sparks and Recreation in central Mississippi. That's in like a camping grounds.
Okay.
So they had like a field up there that everybody parked in, and then through the whole facility, there's cabin camping or RV camping and like tent camping, all kinds of stuff. Plus, just right outside it wasn't that far, maybe 10 miles up the road, if that, maybe 3, I think, is a little spot where they had a couple of hotels. So that was a pretty cool one. We actually did one of those GoRV.com rented an RV, and they brought it in. It was pretty cool. It's like an Airbnb RV. It was crazy. That was cool because we set up an RV and we just hung out, did our thing, and then of course Slam Fest. Me and you hooked up at Slam Fest.
Well, I mean, don't say it like. I mean, we were just talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we got there, we talked a little bit, hung out, walked around.
Yeah, because I mean, I wasn't anywhere near that camper, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking at Slam Fest, bro. Slam Fest.
Right.
Not
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation.
Right,
There wasn't no
right.
camper there.
Right, but
Right.
you know, we had a good time just talking trucks. You know what I
Yeah, of course. Yes.
mean?
We were
And
sitting there by that cool old International Rat Rod tile truck. That thing was like awesome.
the crew cab Willie.
Mm-hmm. That thing was amazing.
Now,
Yeah,
did you? I know I'm going to go back a little bit here, but did you have a chance? I know you guys are pretty close. Did you get a chance to make it to Altered Metal this year?
Yes, I did. I went to Altered Metal. That show is the weekend before ours.
Yes.
And yes, that's an awesome event as well.
Yeah, we had Kim on this year.
Way over in Louisiana.
She talked a lot
So
about that one.
Yep. That's a good event.
Yep, that's good.
Thing this year, those OBI moved on top same weekend.
Yes.
So you got to pick and choose.
Yep.
Got to pick and choose.
Yep. So then I didn't mean to get you
on
on track
put that
there.
show on is a great people. You know, I like that show. It's an awesome show.
Yeah,
So-
and I didn't mean to throw you off there. So then, you know, after you know the Tampa show, where else did you go?
Last Resort, Stuart and Colette Daigle with K put on Last Resort. That is another amazing camping show. It's a great time. Good venue. Got like a little pond in the middle of everything. You can camp or you can stay at the hotels. That's a great event. It's kind of about the same area as Altered Metal, actually.
Yep. Now, were you able to make it to like Laying at the Lake or Bayou Showdown?
I did not make Laying in the Lake, but I did hit Bayou Showdown. I would love to have done Laying in the Lake.
Yeah, Laying at the Lake.
That's one of those that's on the tick mark list. You know, that's
good.
Yes,
That's the weekend for those scoring at home. Typically, the weekend after you come back from SEMA. So you've got the daylight saving time weekend this year. Kind of fell, I think, the weekend of SEMA.
Right.
You come back, and this year was like the 12th, 13th, 14th. So good people there.
Yep. Like the weekend right before Bayou Showdown, if I remember right.
Yep. You had Veterans Day on the 11th.
They were back to back or something like that. Yep.
Yeah, you had Veterans Day on the 11th this year, and then boom, it was that weekend. So it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, you know, just, you know, because we're doing this year-end wrap-up, right? So Mike and I talked about like a lot of our favorite things. I talked, you know, last episode about some of my favorite memories from this year.
Right.
One of those, David, was at a lot of these shows, you're starting to see folks that have carried through the LST message that I call it.
Correct.
And,
yes, the banner. I love it. I'm definitely probably going to be having it at my show as well. It's a great message. It's awesome.
Yeah, and we got to tip the cap.
It is.
To Lonnie Radar.
Yes, got to tip the cap to Lonnie and Radar for that one.
Yeah, good people. And then
Jared
you saw,
Duffy, great people.
Unfortunately, after our good dear friend Greg Miller passed away, you saw some shows like you mentioned earlier, Southern Tradition. I know DJ Mays was involved
number
in this.
6, it's 63, right?
I believe
number
so.
63 or 62. 63 or 62, yes. And we're going to pull that one on ours as well.
Yep.
That is no longer a number at our show.
So what you kind of end up with is you see a lot of the positivity. And we saw shows this year that, you know, people like Sean Rose and David McGotti, you know, they won our Contributors of the Year this year. Okay. And
of course, yes.
These guys are out there,
love those guys.
Know, raising money, you know, for Courtney Hollowell Foundation, helping kids in school, like with Sean Rose, and teaching folks and stuff. I know you've been doing this even longer than I have, the positivity, right? But what's maybe something you saw this year, David, that just makes you kind of go, man, the scene is alive, it's thriving, and it's doing the right thing?
And I've been seeing a lot of people coming back into it. I'm seeing younger people hanging out, which is great. You know, always good to have the younger generation coming in. Everybody's starting to cater to kids, of course, which helps. That's a great thing, of course. And just the scene itself, giving back to these charity auctions and stuff like that has just been amazing, bro.
Yep.
I mean,
like the Spark Show. Think about, you know, they raised the money for the Pops, right? And you see a lot of shows doing kind of charity events. And I love seeing that
like
because
Mini Nats, I think Mini Nats pulled off a big one for the Sean Rose, the Spreading the Love Foundation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did really well with that one. So that was great.
Yeah,
great.
And I love it. But in all seriousness, dude, when you think about 2022, what are you most excited for? Other than your show, because we're going to talk about that in a second.
To be honest with you, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to slow my roll. I'm not going to lie to you. I hit it pretty hard last year. I think I might cut it back in about half. And but I want to enjoy it. I'm going to do some new stuff. I'm actually trying to get to Canada this year for a show.
Nice.
that's going to be a serious tick mark Willie right there.
Yep, that will
Pull
be
off another country, bro.
Are you gonna link up with Todd? Acro Todd with the green big hip dually. You know what I mean?
I will probably hook up with him because we're going to like the Ontario area for Band Fest.
Cool.
A couple of brothers of mine in the NC are starting to work their way into kind of taking that show over.
Nice.
The people, the vanners and stuff that have been running it for years are tired and they want to walk away, and they've offered it to these brothers. So, and it's their 25th anniversary, but it's been held off for 2 years due to COVID. So,
yep.
And of course, that's a camping type, it's a old vanner show. So they still bring all the old school vans and stuff, custom vans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Plus it's engraved into a mini truck slammed type show. So that's great,
Yeah. And
it's a camping type show. It's like a campground type thing where you can camp or you can stay out in the hotels type.
Yep.
So.
The Hotel Motel Holiday Inn. So when you think about...
We're going to do 3-wheel in a camper.
Dude, I would caution everyone to get away from that camper because, literally, we thought it was a hydro contest coming back. We go, dude, what is going on? Mike goes, that's not hydraulics, man. You've seen the stickers back in the 70s. So, but listen, before we talk about your show... it's always cool linking up with you because, you've been doing this a long time. I love, that I love C30 dualies. I got a 79. You've got Sweet Ellie. It's been in street trucks. It's been in different publications. And I love the hustle. But it's also cool, too, because you've got, the thing with Kim, right? And Kim's your better half. And you guys go to all these shows. And you rep hard for NC. And you've been doing it a long time.
Yes, sir.
What words of encouragement would you give? This is not story time with David, right? But this is kind of like, we want you to give words of wisdom for maybe someone younger in the scene that's coming up. What would you tell them as the old school guy out there?
And really, in reality, stay steady, stay at your pace, do what you can do, but do it right the first time. Don't mess around.
Yep.
Don't shortcut. Don't play. Just do it. It might cost you, but in the long run, it's going to cost you more regardless.
Yeah, all gas.
If you want to stay right.
Like, you'll hear the term all gas, no brake. That doesn't mean all Bondo, no metal work, right?
Right. Okay. It don't mean all, the cheapest stuff you can get your hands on and the Harbor Freight welder. And, come on.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So before I ask...
If you don't know how to weld, at least get somebody that knows how to weld, please.
I love it. Now, before I talk to you, I want to talk to you just for a couple minutes about your upcoming show. But listen, I got a trivia question for you. Mike said, "Yo, Jay," he goes, "You don't have a hair on your ass if you don't take that number 2 question that you got from me this week, and you ask Mr. David Dekorver, okay, tick mark Willie."
Oh, shit.
So, just for the record books, just for the sanctioned deal, if you get this wrong, this comes out of his employee binder, right? So it ticks out of him.
I got you.
So this is kind of from your era, I would think. I don't want to,
maybe.
Right? So
right.
You got to listen carefully because I usually only read it once, okay?
Okay.
Okay, players, now it's time to get serious.
Now, filmed in 3 acts, this Vietnam War epic by Stanley Kubrick follows the exploits of one private joker, soldier, and jester. What is the name of this film featuring the most intense boot camp scenes in cinema history?
Oh, geez. That ain't Rambo, is it?
Yeah, it's not that one, but it's another one. There's 3 words in the title. It's not just a single word or name.
Oh, Good Morning America.
That one's close, man. It's
Good Morning
close.
Vietnam.
It has something to do with metal. You know what I'm saying? So
metal? Oh, Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah, there you go, man. So we're going to throw it to there. We're going to throw it to their
3 episodes on that one?
Well, it was like
that's what you threw me off on.
3 acts.
3.
First Blood, and Rambo and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
But,
okay.
But Full Metal Jacket, definitely. But so you did pull the nose of the plane up. You're good. I think we'll throw it to their Head Nation.
All right. I'm a little older than Mike, so
yeah, So let me ask you this, right? Elevator pitch for Sparks in the park. Okay, we're not talking about fireworks, hopefully. You guys have been doing this a couple years now, and you've had some good success. What's the elevator pitch for Sparks in the Park 2022?
Oh, man. If you want to come have a great time, think about it. I've been the guy doing all these shows, so I take everything from all of the shows and put the best stuff into one, which is mine. So that's why we do it. So come on, have a great time. We do the 80s, 90s contest, the BMX thing. So, we have a good time. We enjoy ourselves. We're constantly there. We stay on grounds. It's a great time.
Yeah, so on Facebook, if you type in 4 words, Sparks in the Park, you're going to see that there is a group that you can guys can kind of talk a little bit about it. You can also see that there's a public group as well. But there's also, my understanding, there is an event page, okay? And this... Yes, yeah. It's the Sparks in the Park 4th annual car, truck, and bike show. And it's
what it pops up.
And it's coming up this April. And just to be clear, it's not Easter weekend, right?
Not Easter this year, so this will be a great time. But we will have the Easter Bunny there and be doing Easter egg hunts and coloring contests and stuff like that for the kids. So we do all that because we're around Easter regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And
yeah.
Although this year it did fall on Easter weekend, as David pointed out, it's not on Easter weekend next year. Now, here's the thing. They're also on Instagram, Sparks in the Park 850. Now, you guys do need to update the Instagram bio.
Yeah,
because,
I know.
No, it's fine. But to keep me honest, the first weekend in April, it's at the Mullet Festival grounds, right, in Niceville?
Mullet Festival grounds, exactly. On April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Niceville, Florida, up in the Panhandle.
There was a rumor going around that if you had an actual mullet, you might be able to get a discount on a ticket, but we don't know. That could have just been started on Craigslist or something, right?
They're always selling tickets on Craigslist, bro.
Yeah, for good deals. But
oh, yeah.
I know Kim can't join us tonight, but we hope that you guys had a great Christmas, and I know that you guys are looking forward to 2022. But David, definitely, I feel your pain. Slow down a little bit, homie, and just enjoy it next year.
I am. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll to some great ones and a couple new ones. I actually was looking into what's that? Rolling on the Red Rocks over there in southern Utah.
Yep.
That might be a good one. That might turn out to be a good one. So we might have to run over there and try it.
David Dekorver. I know not everyone can say his name, but it's Dekorver. It's kind of like, don't take this the wrong way. When I was first learning your name, I thought of like Dr. Kevorkian. Is there any relationship to Dr. Death?
No.
Okay,
no,
that's a good thing, right, for the listeners. I mean, I'm just trying to be clear. I just want to clear the air. But Dr. Dekorver, as we call him,
you want to go sideways, didn't you?
But David Dekorver, a good dude, NC Florida, of course, as you heard, he goes to shows all over the country, and we love the hustle. And we love your truck, Sweet Ellie. But keep doing what you do, David.
Sweet Ellie's under transformation at the moment, too.
Dude, I heard you're doing a 6-door conversion, LS swap,
billet
frame.
Lambo doors all the way around, the whole bit.
Lambo doors. Are you doing this? What I want to know is, are you doing the side tilt hood? That's the main one I'm
we're gonna split it down the middle though.
See?
So it comes up with the spikes in the claw, you know what I mean?
If Mike listens to this, he definitely needs to take notes because he's trying to win some awards next year. So what we're trying to do is get him.
I'll give him a couple if he wants. I got a few.
Yeah. And what I'm thinking is if he would suicide like his gas door, like he could get some points for that too, right? At your show.
Yeah. I think you get 5 points for that one.
Yeah. So I mean, Mike, if you're listening, Mike hasn't gotten this far. I guarantee he's parked his mail truck and he's sleeping in the back of it right now. Just saying.
He's out there gallivanting. Come on.
Yeah, brother. But
he's
David,
trying to catch up.
In all seriousness, dude, I know it was 33 minutes of. This could have ended up like a shit show. We don't really know. We'll have to listen to it.
It kind of did.
But I think the listeners like when we're a little bit off the cuff. You know what I mean?
A little bit off the top. Yep.
Because if there was an official,
it's a new year.
If there was an official ruling,
welcome to 2022, right, brother?
Yeah. So this is the last question I got, and we're going to end it. On a scale of like 0 to 100. Okay, this is a serious question. How many Fs does David Dekorver give?
How many what?
How many Fs?
Shit.
How many Fs? Okay, 0. My man, right there. That's a fist bump through the phone right there, my brother. So You heard it first. David Dekorver gives truly zero. So please come out to his event next year. And what I want to do is I want to thank our title sponsors, including Custom Car Show Productions, for sponsoring us. Their next event, of course, as David mentioned earlier, is Orange Beach Invasion. It's going to be the last weekend in March, but also our family over at Mini Truck Showdown. They have 2 events next year. The first weekend in February, that's the Kern County Showdown out there in Bakersfield. And then the first weekend in June, we hope that everyone can join us out in Las Vegas for Mini Truck Showdown. David, it's always Real Deal Holyfield linking up, brother.
Right. Definitely. Most definitely. Enjoy talking every time, my man.
Keep the pedal stomped and make sure Kim
yes,
doesn't get sideways on that road this coming June or this coming February.
I just turn the tune down when she gets in the truck.
Yeah, do that. And if you've stayed with us to the end, we got to tip our cap to the listeners. Thank you guys so much. I know we got a little crazy there, but David he's kind of up there with Hank. There's Hank. And then there's David. He's one rung underneath Hank, so we know you're trying to get to that level. But David, be good, brother, and be safe on New Year's Eve.
Yes, sir. You too, my man. Take care. Have a great time.
We'll hit you guys with 270 maybe in a few weeks. We don't know yet. We getting sideways.
Yeah,
you.
Definitely. Well, we're starting it off in Daytona, right?
Peace. Yes, sir. We are at Mike the Mayor
Have a great one, brother.
Later.
Yes, sir. I will see you there. Bye.